Hello everyone, today is 28th of December 2022 and I'm continuing my series Daily Reality with Alex, and I'm still in Austria. It is a foggy day, but reality is presenting to us whatever it is presenting. I'm transferring now from one camper stop to another, and a lot of things happened which are not so according to the plan and to what I was expecting. So I got a little bit frustrated, but this is part of the data stream. Nothing is always happening according to the way we are thinking it is going to happen. So I have more than 40 minutes now. I need to wait till the next bus in order to go up in the pistes and the slopes again. And meanwhile I have a very little battery, so I'm just preparing myself for a lot of unexpected things today. But meanwhile I can start with my messaging today and my daily reality explanations, and I'm showing you all and every day till the end of 2023 how I'm doing my reality, how daily I perceive my existence, and how I'm actually long-term using and applying everything in the daily reality. The daily reality is the most important part of us, and from the moment we open our eyes till the moment we close them, there is nothing else that is out there but the daily reality. So it's better to use it smart, and today I'm going to speak with you about how I'm using daily reality based on the two opposing parts of us that are fighting with each other, and this is the so-called slavery mode against the freedom mode. The problem with reality is that usually we don't want to accept reality as it is. We are constantly willing to change it and to make reality looks like it is something else than what it really is, and this is part of the way that we are moving through reality into 100% delusion, and we enjoy being in bubbles, we enjoy being in every other state but perceiving reality as it is. And this is part of our processes of the deception of the mind and the deception of the heart. But anyhow, once we start recognizing this, we are to be truthers and we are to be seekers of reality as it is, without expectations, without trying to bend it, without trying to create a different reality than what it is. The first thing we are to do is actually to accept everything in the data stream as it is. Of course, long term we can influence, we can have our opinion, but we need to have the ultimate strategic basic positioning before starting everything else in life. So I would like to speak about the slavery mode, and every human being is created and conditioned basically in such a way that we want freedom. And if you think about all the values that the human beings are willing to go towards, it is just telling us one subconscious thing. If I'm so strongly willing to be free, if I'm so strongly willing to express myself, the only thing that it means is that actually subconsciously I'm not free. I'm someone that is a slave. And of course we are going into resistance, and everything comes with the Prometheus myth, if you know about it, when he stole the fire from God and gave it to humanity, and is helping humanity to resist its creators in order to go out of slavery and to enter a mode of freedom. So freedom is actually part of the resistance to the construct, and we think that this is something which is good, and a lot of us are trying to resist everything possible in order to feel a little bit of freedom, but we don't know that actually, paradoxically, once we are striving strongly for freedom, it actually is making us to resist, and it is making us to go into situation of a total slavery. I know a lot of people are saying, well, Alex, but actually we the human beings are willing to give our lives for freedom, and we have nations now, we have fought for our freedoms, and we enjoy our freedoms. It doesn't matter that after one fight for freedom, there comes just another slavery. So actually, by the processes of freedom, what we are doing is we are just changing whom to be slaves to. And when we look in reality in such a way, the only thing we can do is just to choose who is to be our master. Of course, we say, no, Alex, we don't want to have masters. We want to master ourselves. And if we are able to master ourselves, then we don't need to fight for anything, because then we are totally free. We are our own masters. But in reality and in the construct, nothing works freely and independently from each other. Everything is in subordination, everything is in order, and anything that is created cannot be disconnected from its creator, but long term needs to acknowledge the creator. If it doesn't acknowledge the creator, it is going to be out of order, and it cannot experience reality as it really is. So for me personally, when I'm using this in my personal reality, and in order to experience more freedom, for me freedom is given only when I'm able to subordinate, when I'm able to be a servant, and more I cherish and more I manage the servitude mode, more and more freedom actually I'm experiencing, and it is paradoxically. More and more I give away my time for serving, more and more free time I have. I didn't know that this paradox exists, but actually it is wonderful to know that once we decide to acknowledge that we have a creator and that we are servants under him, and that there is not a possibility there in creation to have another ruler but only the creator, then all the creation can enter its subordination and actually experience freedom under order. I know a lot of us don't want order, we just want to create everything ourselves, we want to be our gods, and we can live in this delusion, but the construct of reality is not allowing it, and long term it is not going to be functional. So what about the slavery mode, Alex? Isn't it something that is bad? It depends who is your master. It is like when we are going into our daily modes of work. I know now it's very new tendency. Nobody wants to be a worker, everyone wants to be its own boss, and so on and so on. But we live in a collaboration and codependency. So even if from 2011 I'm my own boss, I never felt like I'm something more than a normal worker. There is no difference between me and my workers because everyone is doing his job. The only thing I am actually doing with my experiences is that I'm developing the condition and the stage of a stewardship. Everything I'm doing, because anyhow we don't have anything. We cannot possess anything, and once we learn to let go, we are going to understand that everything in our experience, all the heaviness that we have, all the material things that we are actually surrounded with, we can be only stewards of some things that are not ours, because everything belongs to the Creator. Everything that is created is not able to be possessed. So the only thing we can do during our life experience is only to be stewards. Then it doesn't matter if you are a worker, if you are a manager, if you are owner of a company. Everything you are doing with all the assets that you have, or everything that you are doing, is only to be a steward of everything that is coming in your data stream. So basically, during our life experience, what we are doing, we are more and more acknowledging our master. And if we are able to develop real and true servitude and understand that this is the only way reality works, we are to acknowledge that we are in servitude, and only if we acknowledge that we have our Lord, that we have our Creator, only then it is possible to develop real freedom and actually to move forward in reality. Because paradoxically, we think that if we are slaves, then someone is going to tell us every second what to do, what to think, what to experience, and so on. But once we acknowledge that we are under the Creator, then a very strong and big freedom and responsibility is given to the human being to actually be a ruler of its own reality. And that's why prayer and intention is created for all of us. So once we acknowledge that we are servants, then it's up to us to decide what we want to appear in our data stream, and then it is up to us to decide what are we to be involved as part of the creation and as part of what is able to be manifested in this reality. But it is very important to understand that our ego and the ego power is created to flourish only under order. If we are not able to develop the right way of servitude, because if we are slaves that are constantly resisting, if we are going to reality and are constantly trying to be independent and free, then we are going to have a different type of experience, but reality is never going to give us what we want, because we are not in subordination. And this is how I'm doing it in my daily reality. I have accepted this mentality, and of course, for a human being that wants to be very strong, very independent, to rule the world, to be like a god, it looks like that what I have decided to do is a weakness. But is it better to be a servant of the Most High, to be a servant of the Creator, or just a creature that is trying to be independent in reality, that is not allowing independence out of order to exist? Because anyhow, this is creating not subordination, and it is creating a way of life that is out of order, out of coherence, and then this is not good for the whole. And the Creator is responsible for the wholeness, because anyhow our long-term direction is toward wholeness, and wholeness is possible to happen only when every part, every individualized consciousness, every being is willingly or long-term unwilling to, but need to move back into order. Nothing is possible long-term to exist if it's not under order. And that's why our positioning is made in such a way that we are to accept reality as it is and to understand our functionality. Of course, a lot of us wants to understand, who am I? I want to understand my powers, my gifts. I want just to flourish in life. And when reality is showing us what is our rightful position, then we are starting to resist, and we don't want to be under order. And this is part of the resistance process that we need to constantly see and acknowledge, and to not fall into this vortex where we are strongly encouraged to be free, independent, to just do whatever we want, the way we want, because long term this is creating distraction for ourselves, and it is out of order and out of the coherence and out of the synergy of reality experience. So thank you for watching today. Enjoy your freedoms, but freedom under order, because we are destined to be managers. We are destined to subdue the earth. We are destined to understand and to influence reality, but under the servitude and under the order of the Most High and the Creator of everything. So, bye-bye. Enjoy your reality, and enjoy reality as it is. Bye-bye.